You have been here before. Not in this room, but in this exact feeling. The one settling into your chest right now. The feeling that something is about to be said. That you already know. That is not coincidence. That is the first symptom. There is a structure inside you. That was not built by you. It was built before you had words. Before you had choices. Before you had anything resembling a self. And every thought you believe is yours. Every fear. Every desire. Every quiet voice that says not yet. Not you. Not possible. Passes through that structure first. You do not think. You are thought. Somewhere beneath the noise of your daily life. Beneath the plans and the scrolling and the careful management of how you appear. You have felt it. That pressure behind the sternum. That low, familiar tightening. That arrives without warning. That is not anxiety. That is memory. Memory that was never yours to carry. What I am about to show you has been sitting inside you your entire life. Waiting. Not for the right moment. For the right question. And the question is not why can't I change? The question is, who built the cage? Stay with that. Because what comes next will make everything you thought you understood about your own mind feel like a room you have never actually entered. Every experience that ever frightened you. Every moment you were made to feel small. Every silence where love should have been. Left a mark. Not a metaphor. A physical mark. A groove worn into the soft tissue of who you are. And here is what they do not tell you. Those grooves do not store the past. They generate the future. Every morning you wake into a body that is already running yesterday's predictions. Before your eyes open, your nervous system has already decided what is safe, what is threatening, what is possible for someone like you. You did not make those decisions this morning. You made them when you were 7 years old. Or 12. Standing in a hallway. Learning in one sharp moment exactly how much of yourself you were allowed to show. Feel that? There is a tightening in the throat when I say that. That is not emotion. That is the cage acknowledging that you can see it. But seeing the cage is not the same as leaving it. Most people who discover this truth, who understand the language of trauma and conditioning, they understand it perfectly. And nothing changes. Because they made the crucial error. They believe that the mind could heal the mind. You cannot use the water to study the river. Hold that. Because what comes next goes deeper than understanding. Into a place where the language you were given was specifically designed not to reach. What lives in your nervous system tonight is not entirely your own history. The terror your grandmother felt and had no room to speak. The humiliation your grandfather swallowed and passed down in his silence. The grief that was never permitted to move through a family and so moved through the children instead. You arrived carrying freight you never packed. Think about the fears that feel oldest in you. The ones with no clear origin. The ones that do not respond to reason. That inexplicable weight when something ordinary happens. A tone of voice. A specific kind of silence. A door closing in a certain way. That is not irrational. That is inherited. And you cannot think your way out of an inheritance. But there is a third layer. And this one keeps the others in place. This is the one no one speaks of directly. You were trained to want your own imprisonment. Sit with the cold of that. Not trained by malice. by something quieter. You were trained by reward. Every time you contracted yourself to fit the room, something was given. Approval, safety, belonging. And so you learned. Smallness is safe. Wanting what others want is safe. Now the reward is gone. The people whose approval you contracted for may not even be in your life. And still, the contraction remains. Because the nervous system does not track whether the threat is still present. It tracks whether the response was ever unwound. Yours was not. And so you move through your days in a shape that was not chosen. Exhausted by a war that ended without your knowing. This is the memory jail. Not a prison of thought. A prison of form. The shape your body learned to hold. When being yourself felt like too great a risk. The first instruction. Locate the lie in the body before you address it in the mind. There is a place, and you already know where it is, where you hold yourself differently than you would if no one were watching. A shoulder that never fully drops. A jaw slightly, permanently engaged. A breath that never quite reaches the floor of the lungs. Find it now. Do not fix it. Simply place your attention there. The way you would place a hand on the shoulder of someone who has been carrying something alone for too long. That is recognition. And recognition, for a body that has been unseen, is the first dissolution of the wall. The second instruction. Distinguish between a memory and a prediction. Every time the tightening comes, ask only this. Is this now? Or is this then? The body, when asked with genuine stillness, knows the difference. There will be a slight softening, like a fist closed for so long, that even the intention of opening is a kind of release. The third instruction. Complete what was interrupted. Every emotional response that was swallowed, shamed, or had no safe place to land, did not disappear. It paused, mid-motion, inside you. Allow the feeling currently present to move entirely through you, without the subtle internal supervision that says this is too much. Don't go all the way in. Let it go all the way in. The pressure you feel is not danger. It is momentum. Finally meeting. Permission. The fourth instruction. Speak differently to the structure than you speak to yourself. The part of you that contracts is not an enemy. It is the most loyal thing you have ever known. When you meet it with contempt, it holds tighter. When you meet it with quiet authority, it begins to ask whether it is still needed. Speak to it as you would speak to a child, standing guard outside a door that has long since been made safe. Not with pity, with the steady warmth of someone who has finally arrived. The fifth instruction. Tolerate the unfamiliarity of expansion. When the contraction begins to ease, it does not feel like freedom. It feels like exposure. Like standing in a room with no walls. There will be an impulse to return to the familiar edges. The shape that, however painful, is at least known. Do not mistake that impulse for truth. The sensation of expansion and the sensation of danger feel identical until they don't. Stay one breath longer than feels comfortable. That is where the unwinding begins. What has been passed to you is not a set of corrections. It is an orientation. You are not broken. You are shaped. Shaped by forces that preceded you. By people who were themselves shaped. By a world that confused survival with living. The memory jail is not made of iron. It is made of repetition. And repetition can be met with interruption. Small, consistent, unremarkable interruptions that over time rearrange what the body believes is possible. You will not feel it happening. That is how you will know it is real. One morning, without occasion, you will notice that the tightening did not come. That you moved through a moment that would once have held you. And the body simply continued. Not because you conquered something. Because something finally had nowhere left to hold. There is one thing I have not told you. It cannot be told. It can only be arrived at from the inside. After the instructions have been lived rather than understood. You will recognize it when it comes. Not because it is loud. Because it is the first thing in a very long time that feels entirely like yours.